Playgoers, I bid you welcome, as Zero Mostel said a long time ago. I am Rona Mann. He didn't say that. I'm Rona Mann, and you are on the aisle with me. Today, we are on the aisle going to Trinity Rep, the Trinity Repertory Company up in Providence. Wonderful theater company. And before I get into telling you about the play, I want to tell you about the Brown Trinity Rep MFA program. Because if you've been to any shows at Trinity, you may have seen under the credits that certain actors were at the Brown Trinity Rep MFA program, young actors. And I thought a lot of people probably don't know what that is. And in this particular play, it's extremely important, and you'll know why in a minute. But just to give you some background, the Brown Trinity Rep MFA program is very hard to get into. Students from all over the country compete to get into this. In fact, one of the members of Trinity Rep now, I think it's almost like passing the bar. I think she flunked twice. She tried twice, couldn't get in twice, got in the third time. What it does is it combines an education, a master's education from Brown University with practical theater experience at Trinity Rep. And the young people who go there are working with all the accomplished actors. They get to work on shows. Sometimes they are extras or have very small parts in shows, but it's letting them know what they are in store for because they have elected to at least endeavor to go for a career as an actor, or this is also the tech work. Okay, that under the belt. When I got to Trinity Rep on Sunday afternoon for the matinee performance at noon, there were signs from the outer lobby to the inner lobby, which if you go to theater anywhere, chances are you've seen it. For this performance, the part of so-and-so is being played by so-and-so. They have to do that because the so-and-so who was out is an equity actor. This is part of Actors Equity, but they do it anyway. They let you know that the name and picture in your program is not the person you're going to see. And then they have to insert into the program a little bio on who is taking over the part. Well, I saw that on Sunday afternoon, and it turns out it was the lead female in the show, and I'm going to hold this up, Blues for an Alabama Sky. Blues for an Alabama Sky. The author, the playwright, is Pearl Clage, and we'll talk about her a little bit later. So they had the sign up, and they said the part usually played by Clotilde Horn will be played by Kayla Bennett. And I looked in my program, and sure enough, Kayla Bennett is a student, a second-year student, I believe, the MFA program at Brown Trinity. Well, when there's a 12 o'clock show, the house, meaning the inner theater where you're going to sit and see the play, opens a half hour before, except it didn't. And more people were out in the inner lobby part, which is pretty narrow, and it was getting more and more crowded. And now it's heading towards 12 o'clock. And the ushers are walking around a little bit flustered, and they're saying, we're going to open the doors soon. It's probably, now this is what my usher said, it's probably because there's an understudy and she has to practice, which I thought was a terrible way to put it. But she's an usher. She's not an actor. Finally, they opened the doors, 9 minutes to 12. And we all got in and we sat down. And I'm thinking, boy, they got to load everybody in pretty fast if they're going to start on time. Well, they didn't. And 12 o'clock came, and 5 after, and 10 after, and quarter after, and everybody's in, and they're still not telling us what's going on. And I'm thinking to myself, did this young woman have a problem? Is she upset? Can she not go on? In which case, they would have to cancel the performance. What's going on? Well, they never told us. But finally, at about 20 minutes after 12, one of the 5 actors in the show came out and he did his pre-curtain speech. They point where your exits are, and they tell you Southwest Airlines is the official airline, and turn off your cell phones and all of that. And they also told us that the first act was an hour and a half. So one of the things they were doing to kill time was they kept warning people. It's like you were 6 and your mom was there. If you have to go to the bathroom, do it now. It's an hour and a half, our first act. But they did that. So finally, the show began. And Kayla Bennett was on stage probably 90% or more of the show, and she was magnificent. I cannot believe that even the equity actress who was out for whatever reason, probably illness, could have been any better than this young woman who didn't mess up a line, didn't seem to mess up any blocking, meaning where she should be on stage, didn't walk over someone else's line. She was in with those other 4 people and was terrific. So let's hear it for the understudies. And the next time you go to a show and you see that there's an understudy, if those people know what they're doing, and Trinity Rep does, they would not have let her on that stage if she didn't know the part the way she did it. And she was great. Okay, so what's the play about? It's 1930s in Harlem when they were having a cultural renaissance. It's a time of jazz and art and coming alive again. And it's about dreams. And all 5 of the characters have a dream, have something they want to do that they're hoping for that would make their life better. If you had ever seen A Raisin in the Sun by Lorraine Hansberry, you might remember it's taken from the line, "What happens to a dream deferred? It dries up like a raisin in the sun." Well, you could have pretty much drawn a parallel to this. The themes in this are about friendship and love and even prejudice and homophobia. Kayla played Angel. She is a jazz singer. And when the play opens, she has been fired and her boyfriend dumped her all in one night. And she's rip-roaring drunk. She needs a place to stay. She now has no money. So her friend Guy, the fashion designer, the openly gay male, has said, "You can stay with me." Openly gay was not something that people took to in the 1930s much. And this part was played to perfection by one of my, and I'm very unashamed when I say this, absolute favorite Trinity actor, Tavon Gamble. There is nothing that guy can't do. He's a brilliant dancer. When they do musicals, he's the dance captain. I've seen him in the really heavy drama, straight stuff in Shakespeare. He's brilliant in this. He's funny. He's very mannered, but he's not playing a caricature of a gay male. He's playing a character, and he does it so well. He is a costume designer, and his dream is to design someday for the legendary singer Josephine Baker, who lives in Paris. Matter of fact, he's got her picture on the wall, and you see that picture looking at you right throughout the show. In the same building is a character called Delia, played by Megan Dilworth. Her dream is to open a women's clinic for neighborhood women for family planning. And yes, that included abortion in the 1930s. She teams up with Dr. Sam Thomas, played by the actor Derek Thomas. Very good. I've seen him in a number of things now in the last couple of years at Trinity. He's good. He moves very well. He is very believable. The fifth character is a young man named Leland, whom Angel meets. She doesn't love him, but she knows she needs a man. So she comes on to him because she needs the safety of somebody who will give her a life, a future, and money. Leland lost his wife in childbirth, so his dream is very different from hers. And he's homophobic. So when he finds out that her friend Guy is gay, not happy about that. He doesn't like the way she dresses. She has beautiful dresses, the dresses of a gal jazz singer, and he gives her a dress that's very bland and blah. It's an interesting show. First act, way too long. No, I didn't have to go to the bathroom. It was way too long. An hour and a half was too long to get to where the playwright needed to get. The first act was spent letting you know who these five people were. And I was thinking, as someone who writes, she could have cut that. She could cut that. Um, the second act is brilliant. It's just like a different show. It's so good. It's got a different rhythm. It's excellent. Um, by the second act, you don't want to move. There are laughs. There's hope. There are dreams deferred. There are possibilities, and there is some magnificent acting. And Kayla didn't let us down for a minute. That woman never stopped. Pearl Cleage, and I hope I'm saying her name properly. It's Cleage. That could be Cleage, it could be Cleage, I don't know. But she was Atlanta's first poet laureate. She's got a Lifetime Achievement Award from the Dramatists Guild. She's a novelist. She's a prolific writer. I have not heard her name before. I was not familiar with any shows she's done, but I would go see another one. She just has to get it a little shorter in the first act. Interesting is that this is the final show of Trinity's season. Normally, the last couple of years, they ended with a musical. Last year was La Cage aux Folles, and the year before that was Sweeney Todd. And someday when we have time, we'll tell you what my producer, DJ Gadget, did at Sweeney Todd. And I'm sure they have not forgotten her yet at Trinity Rep. Every time I hear someone talk about Sweeney Todd, I laugh about it. But they had ended their season with big, splashy musicals. This ended not with a bang, but a whimper. But it was a good whimper. It was so well done. Yes, this one's worth it. This is Blues for an Alabama Sky. It runs until the 29th of June. There are matinees. There are evening shows. Prices, I believe, begin at $40. I shouldn't even say that. I want to be sure, but they're very, very reasonable. It was a great way to end this season, and it's a great way to say, here's to all the young actors coming up, to the Brown Trinity MFA program, and a big shout out to Kayla. If you hear understudy, don't judge. I think a lot of people were sitting there judging as we got delayed and delayed and delayed. It was supposed to be 5 equity actors. It was 4 equity actors and 1 great big rising star who nailed it. You've got a little bit of time. Go get a ticket. You will not be sorry. I'm Rona Mann. You're on the aisle.